Welcome back to Yellow Skunk Farms. Quick disclaimer, this is a 21-year-old and up channel, so if you're not 21, please leave the channel now. Appreciate it. We did a little concrete work yesterday on the new pond garden, and we've got some sidewall rocks up, as you can tell. And you see what we did here? Instead of trying to throw concrete down, I was like, I got extra rubber lining left. Why not just throw the lining in, and then just pack that down in there with the soil, and that soil will push that right up against that wall there, and water will run right down, and we'll be good to go. So, easy solution to my mess up. Just added the thing back down. We'll let the soil push up against that, and that will keep water from going down the edge. Problem solved. We will throw a little concrete right here in this part here, you can see, but other than that, we're good to go all the way around. Like I said, we had made, if you go back to yesterday's video, we had cut this by accident. I just wasn't thinking when I was running the scissors down through there, and I was like, whoops, I was supposed to be cutting on this side and was cutting too close on this side, and we ended up having a gap there where water would be able to run down, so we just covered that up. Now when water runs down, if it ever does run down that far, probably won't, but as a precaution, we are guaranteed now not to have any water leak off of leak into our floor, basically. Don't ask me how I know. We did have issues, as you can tell, back in the day when we were trying to get this thing dialed in, but we live and learn, right? We are day 3 of flower, and as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell they are starting to already stretch. I saw it on day 2, really. Once we lower that light cycle from 18:6 to 12:12, 12 on, 12 off, and we added the red, a little bit of red spectrum to the Grandmasters there. You can see the red diodes in the center. We did not have those on all the way up until flower. So once we hit the flower, the first 2-3 weeks of flower, we'll be probably adding a little bit more deep red in as the bud structure comes, and then we will back that off as we end up further along in flower. So right now we are, let's see, day 3. We went 33 days of veg. We flipped. We changed the lights from, they were at 100, 50, 0, 0. We went from 100 to 40, 30, 20, which this is cool blue, cool white, warm white, red, far red. And you can see that we are only pulling 234 watts of power at 50% total, but we're on each channel. We only have 40% on the 30, 20, and 0. So we're literally not pushing hardly any power, but we're getting great PPFD and DLI. So our light is pretty much dialed in. We're a little higher over there around the 800 mark. We're around 750-ish, 750 to 8 down into here. Just doing a little plucking every once in a while. We did a lot of plucking yesterday. This one here, we can go ahead and it's just going to open up that light hole there. We're going to spread this out a little bit. Just open them up. Let that light hit these bud sites. Like this I don't like that covering up that. So sometimes I'll pick them off, sometimes I'll just turn it to where it ain't covering it up anymore. They will move, the wind blows and they move, grow, all that good stuff, but I don't like taking a lot of leaves at first. I do just like to slowly pluck throughout the grow cycle, throughout the flower cycle. They'll stretch, they grow like crazy. We'll be basically plucking the whole time instead of doing it all at once and then leaving it and then doing it again. I like to just take fingers and arms when need be. Like this one over here is just going to be a mess when we hit flower. All these lowers down here that don't need to be here. I don't take them all at once. I'll just pluck them slowly. Take a finger here and there. Still got plenty of solar panels. This one over here really came into its own. It was small at first, but she really came and grew. Get those two off. Took two of those. You see that moisture laying on that edge there. That thing smells good. Getting a nice funky sweet to it. See, I've just been chopping and dropping all that, but it goes away quick. The critters just eat it up quick. It may last a day, if that. Usually, once this dries up, the isopods come in and just rip it up. You can see I've been dropping in here for a while and all of it's gone. It doesn't last long. Let me get some of this out of here. There we go. Chop and drop everything. This thing might go. In fact, let's just go ahead. You know that's gonna have to go. These elephant ears ain't no joke. I love these things just because they produce a lot of roots. They produce a lot of exudates from this leaf photosynthesizing. Look at the veins. This thing produces a lot of sugar and pushes it down into our soil system, into each one of these pockets, and off to the races we go. If you know anything about soil science, exudate plants, that's what plants do. They photosynthesize, we all know that. But what a lot of people, and what I didn't know, is that photosynthesis actually, if plants are creating some sugars, carbohydrates, and this it's an exchange system. So all the microbes and the critters underneath the ground, protozoa, all that good stuff, you know anything about it, But I'm not a scientist. I just try and, learn as much as I can. But what happens is that this plant, not all of it, but from what I understand, probably 40 to 50% of all that sugar that the plant makes gets sent down into the rhizosphere, which is the root system, and gets pushed out of the rhizosphere into the soil, where the critters and the microbes then exchange sugar for minerals and nutrients to the plant, which is a pretty cool exchange system, kind of like a banking system. And all this is run by the lights. The sun is the source of all energy. It takes energy for us to move, it takes energy for the plants to grow. These things are growing crazy. So energy is what we're looking for and what we need to produce, and we do that through the lights. These Grandmasters are amazing, tunable, adjustable. We can pretty much set spectrums any way we want, and I am learning what likes what, basically. And I've noticed that when I put the red on, when I turn the red light on, algae really slows up in growth. I mean, like crazy. When I turn the blue on, just the blue, the cool blue, and maybe a little of that warm blue, or warm white and cool white, when I just have that, the algae just, boom, takes off. When I add the red and lower the blue, the algae just really slows up dramatically. And I don't get the stringiness like I would get before. Like when the blue's in, I get this string like this. When I turn the blue off, it seems to just not really die off, but just stop growing. Quite crazy. It does not like that red. Loves the blue though. We put this in here yesterday. Let's see. Oh, look at the worms. They come up and just destroy all that bacteria that's trapped in that nitrate pad. We had this in the creek for a little bit, and we just stick it in the soil, and the worms come up and run. See all those little things? Those little black dots are worm castings. Those are all little poo castings that we'll just drop off in the soil here. Let's get it wet real quick, actually. Let's pick up a little more food for them. So what I'm doing by sticking this in the creek is simply picking up food. Lost a worm. Get back in here, worm. So put this in a different spot now. Cover that spot back up. A little banana peel, old banana peel we had. This is just my aeration tool. I'll just take this and stick it down in soil every once in a while, just aerate a little bit. The plants look great, and everything is on time. It looks like we can take this big monster down here. We don't need him in here. You see, we have taken a finger. Boy, she throws off a Pepe Le Pew when I pluck her. God. She's like, hey, As soon as I start plucking, boy, she starts throwing off the old pew pew. The terpenes are like, get away from me type thing. I'm being attacked. So she's throwing off that scent. Look at this. Daggone dandelion. It says, I will not be denied. I will not be denied, dandelion. I will not be denied. Coming straight on up to catch the damn top of this biggest plant here. That's 2 feet, 2.5 feet at least. That's probably 12 inches. Another 12. Probably close to 3 feet. No, it's 2.5 feet at least. It's crazy. But everything, oh, let me get this one in here. That's what I'm going to do. Got a couple more back here I want to get out too. These monsters. This one here, look at this one. Nice looking leaf. If you chop and drop, if you just cutting leaves up and you're not chewing your leaves for your critters, you're making a, I ain't gonna say big mistake, but it ain't good. Gotta chew your food before you swallow. It's one of the first things your mama teaches you. When your mama and daddy teach you, you know, when you're a kid. Chew your food up, man. You can be swallowing that shit whole. Bad for your stomach digestion. Same for down here. All we're trying to do is digest. We are digesting plant material. And we're using the critters to do it. And the more I break it up, the finer it is, the easier it is for them to eat. The faster it goes away, the faster it ends up in your, back into your soil profile, soil food web. And that's what it's all about, poop loop. Right, black soldier fly? You little shitting bastard, you. That's probably his turd right there. You know, he's okay though. We like shit. And then we've got this lucky bamboo that's completely taken over this corner. It looks like, somebody asked if it's a corn. It almost looks like corn, doesn't it? I don't know if I've ever seen lucky bamboo get that big, to be honest with you. It keeps growing. This is the one up here, it does the best. And then as it goes down the creek, I guess it's because this one gets all the good poo. That one gets secondary poo. This one down here gets the third poo. So it gets smaller as you get down through the creek. So that's the smallest one, and then a little bigger, and then the biggest. I'm assuming that is just because of the amount of nitrates it's getting coming out of that creek. There we go. It's funny how when I take those leaves that are laying on top of one another, I can feel the coolness. I can feel the damp coolness difference of where those leaves are laying on top of one another. So where these leaves are laying on top of one another like this, if they're laying and smashed together, if you pull one up and look underneath, you'll have moisture and it'll be cooler on that one spot than it is over here. So if you know that leaf surface temperature needs to be up, so you know a lot of people will check their leaf surface temperature. That temperature is going to allow that plant to transpire more, grow faster if it's in that optimal range. You know, anywhere from 80, 78 to 83 degrees. If you can get your leaf surface temperature up into those ranges, you're going to see tremendous. And then dial in your environment, which is basically going to dial in your leaf surface temperature. You know, if you can keep it from fluxing so much, like going from 65 to 80, then back to 70. Then, so if you can maintain that temperature all the time, or at least, you know, get it into a balance where it's fluxing just a little bit, not a lot, you can get that leaf surface temperature up and you'll see tremendous growth. It's just nature doing its thing. Once you dial it in, it's hard to stop it from growing. You couldn't stop it if you wanted to. It's just the way it is. Which is cool, because once it's set up, there's no stopping it. Now, this will be the last one I take today. For this one, it's just getting so big. You're going to have to, when these things go to flower, if you're not familiar with how cannabis grows, it's a weed. It grows fast and strong, especially if the environment is dialed in. Like these elephant ears, I don't know if you've noticed, but they double in size just about every freaking day. It's crazy. Like you saw me just take one from over, we'll probably have to take this one. And we'll probably have to take this one. We'll have to cut back all this dog fennel, which we've been cutting back. It just grows inches a day. But this is great chop and drop. I mean, pests hate it. I never see a pest on the dog fennel. That's because it has this minty, I would say more of a, like a minty peppermint type. If you didn't know anything about that, it's really a great pest deterrent. It's in a lot of soaps and stuff, like peppermint. It's in a lot of things that are good for pests. So, with that being said, I shall act like a pest and move on out of here. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday and enjoy your day. We appreciate you showing up. I wanted to see if I could see Cooter and Scooter real quick. There they are. Ooh, they're doing something together. Eating algae. And Digger says, sayonara. He's waiting on a worm. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.